premise of the game is we're in a region called Tarkov. There's a major city in the middle.
Right. Sure.
Most of the maps are not done yet, or I would say half the maps at least are not done yet. There's a few maps to be able to be played. And there's scavengers still around that are hanging out and trying to scavenge as much as possible to survive. And they were told to leave a while ago by the Labs Corporation that's here. However, they didn't.
Must be my imagination, I guess.
They didn't. So they're here scavenging, and then there's two different paramilitary groups: Bear and USEC. Bear is Russian. It's in Russia, by the way. Bear is Russian, USEC is American, and we've come in to sort of get rid of scavs and get research and find out.
Yeah.
Well, the USEC.
Down heavy,
I'll explain afterwards. You ready? All right. So anyway. So we don't know a ton about what's happening as far as the city itself, but we do know that there was a labs event that happened, and there's a bunch of things happening with the labs. Labs is one of the playable maps.
Actually one of my
the city above, City Streets of Tarkov, is the one that's coming out next. That's going to be huge. Bunch of buildings and stuff like that. So essentially, something happened to the labs. It turned Tarkov into a very desolate city where they basically evacuated most people. Pretty much everybody. Except for these scavengers, who we call them scavs, who have just been hanging around trying to gather stuff and steal and whatever. And then so you have Bear. Bear is a paramilitary group that's a Russian paramilitary group that's kind of been in to sort of clean up the scavs and prevent USEC from finding out information that's in labs, but also trying to figure out what exactly happened in labs as well. USEC is there to figure out what happened in labs and to sort of figure out, well, okay, so Bear's here. How do we deal with this? And so you'll hear lines that you can trigger and stuff by being a USEC character, because you get to choose whether you're USEC or Bear. That's just for looks right now, and whether or not you speak Russian or English. And you'll hear them talk about, man, we got scavs, and now we got bears, now what? And stuff like that.
I just can't place when those boys died.
And then they, and so you're basically fighting each other, but right now, like I said, it's just for looks.
No clue they would have died.
And you're scavenging. You also have your own hideout, which you're using to survive, because you never technically leave Tarkov. That's kind of the whole story. Your story is to go find information and then escape Tarkov, but you don't really ever do that. You just escape from each individual raid. So why we call them raids is because you raid a certain area, find a bunch of loot to survive, and then you come back to your hideout and start, making stuff. You start upgrading your hideout, start collecting things and whatnot. There are these vendors. Here, I can show you the vendors. The vendors are characters that are in the game that you can communicate, that you're communicating with. They give you tasks to go do out in certain worlds. You can buy and sell stuff to them. And then there's a flea market where you can sell things to each other. You can build guns, you can, get food and all kinds of stuff. While you're at your hideout, those things replenish slowly. Let's see. Here's all the things here. They all give you tasks, and they all have different things to sell you. This guy is American. He deals in dollars. This guy is he's European, but he deals in both ruples and euros. And then everybody else deals in ruples, because they're all Russian. But yeah, each one of them has their individual stories that you kind of find out slowly through text. They're gonna develop that a lot more later. But right now they're just there, and they have like very minimal things like. If you read this, so like the current task I have with the therapist is, I want to ask of your service. Don't put that look on your. Yeah, and they start talking to you. Plan to enroll in the military medical. Medical in St. Petersburg, and in his safe right there in the room, he kept a case with a very particular new medical device issued him by the employer. He tried to get out of town with his blue VAZ 2109 with St. Petersburg plates. So it's a car. I don't know if he managed it or not, but as far as I've heard, he either got stuck near the gas station or apprehended by the military. So there's this story going on, and she's trying to find information based on a lot of medical things happening. She knows a lot of medical things that happen. She knows about this van because she is connected to the medicinal area of expertise, whatever. She knows people, right? There's only certain things you can sell to each vendor, because they only take certain things. Being the therapist, she takes a lot of medical things. She takes keys. She takes certain cases and whatnot. A lot of water, a lot of food, meds, whatever. Propor, he's like your wheeling and dealing type of, hey, this is ammo and this is like very basic gear that'll get you started in some stuff. He's like run of the mill, but he's also one of the guys you can buy insurance from. So before you go into a raid, you can insure all your items. And what that means is if you die during that raid, normally you just lose everything, right? If you die, nothing on your body is safe except for this secure container, which everybody calls putting stuff in your butt because nobody looks in your butt, right? So you die, you come back, you got to heal yourself. You do that pretty instantly. You can now pay ruples to do it too. And between Propor and Therapist, you can insure your gear. What that means is if you lose your stuff, there's a certain timer for Propor. It's around 24 hours. If nobody takes it out of the raid, nobody picks it up off your body and takes it out of the raid, Propor will go and he'll pick it up for you and take it home. He won't bring any ammo back, so he kind of takes that as payment. And you pay him for that insurance too. Therapist does it, but she keeps it for a lot longer for you. If you don't take it in time in the like 2 days after they bring it back, you will lose it. He'll just keep it. Jaeger's this hunter that hangs out in the wilderness. He's very much a jerk because he gives you the most ridiculous tasks to do, like hitting scabs in the head with a Mosin with no sight from like, 100 meters away and stuff like that. He gives you like, oh, you gotta get trimmers, but also kill PMCs, which is other players. You gotta get a tremor and then kill 2-3 PMCs, and you're like, okay, how do I make that happen? Ragman is very much a clothing guy, so he has a bunch of like armor and bags and helmets and glasses and masks, stuff like that. He also has a service to where you can change your gear around too. You can make yourself look a little bit different. But he's very much, I don't really know much about Ragman other than that. He's like the look nice guy. Mechanic is this guy that is, he's like a Russian arms dealer essentially. He has a lot of the Russian weaponry and deals with ruples and stuff like that. Peacekeeper's a American arms dealer. He's got a lot of American stuff. He deals with, like I said, in dollars. The skier is just this European guy who's in here he's like, dude, I got a bunch of connections. I can make some money. Here you go. The fence, I don't think there's much info on him. I really don't use him that much. He's the guy that if you can't sell anything to any of the vendors and you can't sell it on the flea market, you can sell it to him. And all these things here are things that he's purchased from other players that you can buy from them. So basically it's like if you can't sell it on the flea market, it'll end up in the fence. If you look at these maps, this is Tarkov, right? Streets of Tarkov, biggest place, right in the center of everything. Then you go out to the suburbs, obviously. Interchange is the one with the mall. It's all based in like areas in St. Petersburg, by the way. Because that's where the dev team is, Battlestate Games. So you have Interchange, which is this big mall area. It's been taken over, it's been run down and stuff like that. There's a bunch of things to loot in there, and people have been going kind of crazy there. Customs is like this factory, or this it's kind of a factory area that's got warehouses, and then there's a Scav boss there that is ex-police, and he has a bunch of police officers that are loyal to him. And they were assigned there originally to guard the warehouses in the shipping yard. What he's done is he's kind of stayed around. He's stuck around to protect it some more because he's like, no, this is our stuff. We've been tasked to guard this. We're going to keep guarding it. He's very difficult. Scab bosses are harder than scabs. They're AI with a bunch of better gear and better weapons. And they also shoot better. The boss himself has more health. And then that is actually connected to the factory, which is this small, like Call of Duty-esque map that you go in, you shoot a bunch of things. It's crazy. Woods is where Jaeger likes to hang out. It's actually in the woods. We haven't seen town yet, but factory also goes to reserve, which is the one we were just on, which is the military base. We haven't seen lighthouse, and there's shoreline, which is just this big military base on the shoreline, but you never go in the military base. It's just on the side of it, and we haven't seen terminal. Good rundown? Yeah? That's the whole game right now in a nutshell. I should also talk about the Scab Bosses that show up. So there's 4 Scab Bosses, I believe. So we talked about the one in customs, Rashala. He's the military chief, or the police chief. I don't know if he's a police chief. He's probably like a captain or something like that.
Good.
And has dudes that follow him and stuff like that. Then you have in Woods, there's a guy named Sturman, who's just snapshot, great sniper rifle, or sniper, and he's got a bunch of scouts with him too. He has an SVD often, or a SVD. What other weapon does Sturman spawn with? Is it 105? Yeah, probably.
An AK-105, yeah.
And then you go over to reserve, and you have Gluhar, who I believe is ex-Spetsnaz. And he's got a bunch of, you'll notice that he's one of the only dudes that So customs, the Rishala and all his guards have a last name as Zavodsky, but what it means, I think, is warehouse or something like that. It's like police officer or something. I don't know. I forget what it means. But it's just like the name they've given themselves as like
officer would make sense, interestingly, because there's that quest, right, where it tells you to kill.
Yeah. So it tells you to they're all police officers.
Yeah.
So they've taken
Yeah.
that name to show loyalty to Rishala. So they have that, and then you go to reserve. You'll notice that the guys at reserve, they all have one name because they're all call signs because they're all military. So I believe they're all Spetsnaz, and they're very, very good shots, and they will take you down if you're not careful. And then there's a new one coming to Shoreline. We don't know much about him yet. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Is that all? Oh no. At Interchange, there's a guy named Killa who is this crazy, yoked out dude that's just like, I'm gonna kill everything. He has the best armor and the best helmet. He is a walking tank. He's actually a walking tank, and he's got a big RPK.
And an RPK.
He will mow you down if you're not careful.
Oh yeah.
He often has friends with him. They aren't. We don't necessarily call them guards, but they're buddies that he's met. He also has a. He's basically. I think he's a gangster, honestly. He's got a Adidas tracksuit. He calls it. It's called Attic in the game. It's an Adidas tracksuit with the 3 stripes on the side, but his helmet, it's a full Masca helmet. It's also got the 3 stripes that go down the middle. He's very into it. So you have those 4 bosses, and they're all obviously killable. They're not too bad. We've killed every single one of them, but they're pains in the ass sometimes. Do shotgun? Did you bring the shotgun?
Oh hell yeah!
You going for it? Come on, take out sniper Scav. Shotgun.
Shots far.
Yeah, far right.
Yeah, shotgun. Far right shotgun shot.
The sniper Scav's up. Hit him.
Okay. How far is that? 50 meters or?
That's 100 meters. Try 100 meters.
Yeah.
You got him. Right in the head.
Shot.
So the head's flat.
Nope.
No, you got him in the chest?
No?
That was chest.
Damn, it looked like the head exploded.
What ammo are you using?
Right in front, at the gas station.
Yeah, going for it. That's a scav. I'm running for him.
I'm going in. Where did you
I'll just.
He went right. He
to
went
the
right.
left next time round. Right here and then to the left.
Oh, sorry.
We're inside.
That's a player.
Yeah, it is.
That's got to be a player.
Oh.
No,
I'm going around
scav.
the other way. No?
He's inside.
Oh.
No, scav. Yeah, I'm running inside. Did you kill him? Yeah.
Can hear that
Yeah.
PPSH go mad.
Right.
Watch out, there's
Just
often a
pushing
third
side.
one.
Yeah, I'm looking from the top, but
You're
yeah,
right.
gonna pre-pop a painkiller, and then guess we're gonna start running up.
Want to go to gas?
I would say we
Oh,
first
you
go
wanna-
mark your ambulance.
Okay. Fine with me. I'm armored up, dude.
I would also need to go in the resort and mark the, what do you call it? The bathtub? The march room? Yeah.
Mark the march room.
Left of it. Running
That sounds like it's
also to the
down
left?
there, right?
Okay. Yeah, but I think I heard running close left.
Right.
Like,
You think that's the bus stop?
yeah, could be.
No, maybe not. No, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Sounds like the bus stop. Alright, careful left. Let's push
You
right
went
here.
off.
Yeah, push right here. Let's do this.
Okay, straight up here.
No, let's run in. For the ambulance.
Watch out for the barbed wire.
Uh,
Yeah, the ambulance is just...
Right.
oh,
Where is he?
in the building, I'm dead. In the little building.
In the little...
In the stairwell?
Yes. In the shack. No, in the shack.
Oh.
The ice cream shack. Right next to the
may have
chopper.
killed him.
No, he's healing. He's healing right now.
Sure.
Push him.
No, oh!
That's me, it's me!
Oh shit, sorry.
He's in the shack.
Push him.
Pushed out.
Oh god. Lol. I couldn't bring my gun up in time. I'm an idiot.
2 hours later. A few moments later.
I was gonna say, you have the bag on.
Dead. Oh my god, I'm so heavy right now. Oh, it's my leg. Oh shit. Oh, there he is. Oh, you ready for this?
Oh. I'm pretty sure that was a player,
Oh yeah.
isn't it? Oh
He's
yeah,
dead.
definitely is. There's people there.
Successful
I thought in a
raid.
PPSH and then an SKS.
Wait, no. Do we say successful raid?
That's a better thing. Yeah.